everybody. Today I want to quickly talk about parenting from this new perspective of experiencing, especially surrounded with self-care. Um, I think it's very interesting that as a parent, your job is to essentially bring up this child in a way that they will be successful in life and be able to achieve or seek out the things that are most important to them and feel fulfilled. And in a kind of respecting of this experience, the child will then give support to you in your older age and help you along your way as time changes. However, the very essential challenge at the very beginning of this parenting style thing is to know that you've never had the experience of this child. Therefore, bringing them up with the understanding of only your experience will be inadequate to help them survive in this kind of world. Traditionally, it wasn't so much that way. When things didn't change as quickly, then a parent in a trade could pass this down several generations, and the mastery of this trade will continue to be refined over those generations, and therefore the kind of lineage would be able to grow an empire, essentially. This is not so with this era of technology and things moving at such a fast pace. We can say what you learn at the beginning of college or university most likely will not be even applicable to the industry by the time you graduate. So therefore, why would one generation be very applicable to the next if 4 years' time can pass and so much things have changed? This creates a unique challenge of parenting. This makes the parent have to be essentially wiser than their years. A parent essentially has to have the wisdom of a grandparent kind of immediately and see that most of their interaction with this child will be that of watching, observing, experiencing them, and orienting that to the challenges that they will face at different kind of stages of their life, at young childhoodness to preteen to teenager to young adult. And in this way, the adult has to be attuned to those different environments. What is happening? What are the challenges? Or how is that child seeing challenge in those age groups and categories? Is it the fact that they need harsh discipline to be disciplined? Not particularly. Is it the fact that they might need some compassion to find the ability to discipline themselves? Most likely. We're going to say that the social pressures of the adult will not be the same social pressures as the child. And in that way, the adult has to solve for a kind of deeper emotionally fluid kind of atmosphere. This is extremely challenging and is essentially far past the ability of most parents, where they have grown up in a generation that was a lot more about strong, stable things. They're going into one that is a lot more liquid and fluid-like, which is challenging to find orientation against or in. And ultimately, you do have to be, again, a grounding factor to this child, but you have to also be able to go with their kind of perspective of things and create strong connections, most likely, as opposed to strong rules. This might be eclipsed by strong connections throughout different challenges. So you having to be there and kind of guide becomes more powerful. Not guide in absolute experience, as in controlling the nature or the environment or taking away all challenges, which we already know is not a good thing and does always lead to the feeling of the individual not having enough power to overcome any challenges or their challenges. We want to be more of a guide in this scenario. I think this is going to be a challenge from here on in. As the years go by, this will become more of a challenge for parenting and for children and for that kind of thing. We will have to kind of try and develop the strong moral compass of the child and the parent, but at the same time, give leniency to this more fluid way of things being. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight on being more compassionate with oneself, and therefore the child or the children. When you feel yourself being frustrated, it's most likely that you are looking at the situation from a kind of historical perspective as opposed to the perspective that's needed for the initial or the immediate challenge. Therefore, you can't find a solution to the situation and become frustrated with the actions of the child. The child is only being itself and is trying to express that. So as much as we want to give a more rigid answer, we have to also make sure that this is compassionate in nature and not just kind of dogmatic. All right, thank you very much for listening, and I wanted to bring that to your attention to hopefully give you some insight and help you navigate those challenges. Thank you very much.